Welcome to the channel. My name is Will, and today we're going to be talking about a very popular new solo for beginning to intermediate students called Ghost Garden by Adam Hopper. Now, this is quickly becoming one of the most popular solos for young students. As beginners, it's just a really beautiful solo, lots of nice harmonies and simple melodies that are easy to latch on to. I know when I was in high school, I would have loved to play something like this. Today, I just want to offer a couple of tips and a few exercises that I made to help those of you who are interested in playing this solo and maybe are looking for a couple of pointers on how to play it better. Whenever I prepare a solo, I always try to find sections that I can create easy warm-ups out of. Different permutations, musical ideas that become simple warm-ups that I can use every day as I'm working on the solo. Okay, so you can find all of these exercises in the link below. It's a simple sheet that has all three that we're going to talk about today. So the beginning of this solo is a very simple permutation of 1, 3, 2, 4. It alternates between fourths and fifths within the hands. The exercise that I created to go along with it is very similar. 1, 3, 2, 4 permutation, starts in fourths, moves to fifths, and then it moves up chromatically and then back down chromatically. Now the next exercise we're going to talk about is the one I think is the most important for this solo. It's covering letter B to C in the solo, and this is where you have to make a choice between playing fast independent strokes or lateral strokes. I personally choose to play this as independent strokes. Now depending on the tempo you take it, you may have to use lateral strokes. Something tricky about this section is that your hands are only holding thirds. Now, as you hold a smaller interval, it gets a little bit more difficult to create the rotation necessary for proper articulation as you play this passage. So this exercise applies those major thirds, and it moves it up and down the C major scale in seventh chords. And the last section I'd like to talk about is the chorale that you'll find at letter D of the solo. This exercise is really simple. It's one that I learned a long time ago and I use every time that I learn a chorale. Essentially, you take the chorale as it is and you meter it out in eighth notes or quarter notes or 16th notes depending on the tempo of the chorale. I know as I learn chorales, it's easy for me to forget about the note lengths that are written on the page. I think this creates a really stagnant and slow moving chorale, and chorales are supposed to have motion and musical intent just like every part of the solo. So you see in the exercise I created, I metered it out into eighth notes, which keeps me honest with note values and note lengths as I apply the rolls later on into the chorale. Again, it's a really simple exercise that I find really effective. Go ahead and check it out. You'll notice at the end of this exercise, I did take some liberties with note lengths. I encourage you to do the same thing based on how you want to play the chorale as you interpret these fermatas at the end. All right, and finally, go ahead and check out a performance of this solo, Ghost Garden, written by Adam Hopper. Again, that music is in the description. I encourage you to buy it and play it yourself. Check it out. Hey, I hope you like this video. If you want more content like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. I plan on doing a bunch more of these videos on beginning solo literature. I hope you send this to your students or you yourself use it as you learn this solo.